Testing, testing, testing. Testing, testing, testing. We're all testing. We're all testing. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Sean Green, and alongside me is David Ramos. We're coming to you live from Cresco Miller Field on the campus of St. Mary's Preparatory School here in South St. Louis today. Radio 63119 Sports brings you the St. Louis Club Atletico Bluebirds versus the Demize. The Bluebirds come in this game 4-3-1 and are in fourth place in the Heartland Conference. The Demize are 2-6 on the season. They are in fifth place in this Heartland Conference. And this is the second match between these two clubs. St. Louis won their very first NPSL game against the Demize back with a 3-0 victory on May 24th. Get set as we bring you the Bluebirds right here versus the Demize on this 30th day of June 2018 on Radio 63119 Sports. We've had the kickoff, ball's thrown in, goes out, gets thrown back in over on the near sideline. The Atletico are wearing their white jerseys with white shorts and white socks. The Demize are wearing their basically their blues and grays with white numbers. Guess I would say more of their grays, wouldn't you, Davo?
Hi, Sean. Hi, everyone. As people say sometimes, life goes so fast that this is the last home game for the first season for these Bluebirds. But hopefully, there is going to be more games because they have one more game to play otherwise than this. And probably they go to play one more in the playoffs. So that's a really good season for these Bluebirds.
Yeah, this game was pushed back by an hour because of the excessive heat here at Cresco Miller Field.
And it's hit here on the press box.
Yeah, we're all feeling it up here. We're all sweating to death, and but we're here to bring you soccer. St. Louis with the ball coming up the midfield, passing out over on the right side. Ball gets back to the midfielders, brought back up the middle, and on a pass back, almost gets taken away. Got a little Demize 2-on-1 here. St. Louis keeps it, passes up, and now that goes back along the far sideline. We've got a whistle. Davo, you have any interesting World Cup reports to give us?
Oh yeah, of course. There is always in this month World Cup. How do you call it? World Cup recaps.
World Cup what?
What is? Well, anyway, yeah.
Recaps.
Recaps. We have two games today. The beginning of the 16th round or the knockout stage, it was Argentina against France and Uruguay against Portugal. And we can say that Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, the huge big soccer stars, are now out of the tournament.
Wow.
Because France beat Argentina in an amazing and incredible game, 4-3, and Uruguay beat Portugal 2-1. So that's going to be the first game for the quarterfinals next Friday. And tomorrow we have Spain against the host Russia at 9 a.m. And at 1 p.m. for lunch we have Croatia against Denmark.
Well, we're happy for your recap, or not your recup, but your recap.
My recap.
And ball goes deep towards the St. Louis goal. They're going to let that go out of bounds.
Two important facts that people should know about this game is that the Mice arrived to this game with any chance to fight for a spot in the playoffs. They are at this moment in the spot number 5 in the Heartland Conference standings with 6 points. It doesn't matter if they won their last two games, they're going to arrive 12. And at this moment, San Luis Club Atletico has 13 points, so it's not enough. And the good thing is that this game and the other game that San Luis has to play is against Ozark, that it's the team that is in the last spot of the conference. So if they take 2 wins, they can climb in the table. So that will be really helpful from there in the playoffs.
So the important note here being the team from St. Louis here beat Wichita here at home, and that was a big victory, 3-2 as I recall. Wichita being undefeated up until that moment.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's what they did. They came back and really solidly put themselves into a playoff team in the Heartland Conference. So very exciting. Ball comes down, and the Demize goalie jumps on that ball.
Yeah, that's true. The Bluebirds have been showing a great improvement in the last games. They are playing better and better when they play at home. Doesn't matter who is the team that they are facing off. They are fighting as a team. They are playing as a team, and I think that's the important thing that the coach Garza is telling to these players, play as a team, and they are, well, they are paying attention because they are start playing really good.
Yeah, team owner, one of the team owners here for the St. Louis Bluebirds is Chris Burke. He had a graduation party today. Team captain Ricky Garza showed up for that thing. I was there, but we just want to give a little Radio 63119 shout out to an up and coming soccer star that is Isabel Burke. She'll be playing with the St. Louis University team this year.
That just sounds great.
Yeah, for women's soccer. So, a little shout out to her. Little high school graduation, and she's going on. Don't be surprised if you hear that Burke name on a World Cup women's team
Well,
in future years.
the United States national team are the current champions, so people has respect for the women's team.
There you go. The women's team. Yeah, make sure to clarify, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
I like the men's team too. I'm sad they didn't classify for this World Cup.
Well, they'll be there, I guess, in another 8 years.
Yeah, that's for sure.
They're guaranteed to be there. Ball's going back to the near side corner. Demize trying to track this down. They kind of center it up. Himes comes out and grabs that ball.
We arrived to the minute number 6 of the first half, and the game has been a little bit struggle. Both teams have having defense in a really good way. Sometimes the St. Louis Bluebirds are having the possession of the ball, but the miss is not letting them find the spaces for make their good long passes or long runs with the ball. So at this moment, it's a really hard game in the middle of the field.
Yeah, a little correction on the St. Louis goalie. This is Ziggy Cameo. He took the net at the Wichita game when their lead goalie came down and I guess injured his hamstring, I think it was. So he's out for at least maybe a couple weeks here. Ziggy's in the goal and he did a great job last week.
He did an amazing save just in the last minutes. That final fight, that I don't remember, but I think the referee gave almost 10-12 minutes in addition in the second half.
Yeah.
It was just crazy the way how the Bluebirds beat Wichita, but they defeat that strong team. And probably at this moment, Wichita is the team that the Bluebird has to face in the semi-final playoff.
All right, ball's up on the far sideline as Demize tries to bring it downfield. Nice dribbling, pass out to the far side line, center up the middle, and that's headed up towards the center. Another St. Louis head picked up by the Demize. A little dribble pass up the center, and that goes back to a Bluebird who sends that up field, up to about midfield. Back over on the far sideline. And now the Bluebirds are passing the ball around. St. Louis with the ball, dribbling up the middle of the field. Pass up in the middle, and a little mispass over to a Demize player. He gets it back. He's coming up the center. Now the Bluebirds bring it out towards the near goal line here. Pass back up center. Demize kind of a little tapper down. Ziggy comes out and gets the ball. He ends up picking it up as he is threatened. And now he tosses that out to the far side line. St. Louis with a slow dribble upfield. Pass over to the center. He's now coming up. Pass again over to the near sideline. A little dancing, passing back over, and now a charge downfield. A cut right, circles back, and passes back. Another pass back to just behind the midfield line. Pass over on the far sideline. And the Demize come charging in for that ball. They knock it out. This will be a St. Louis throw in on the far sideline, just behind the midfield line. Dava was checking that temperatures. We're all checking the temperatures. It was just really felt brutal.
It is hot. I think it's the wood in this press box that makes us feel like in a sauna or turco.
Yeah.
I know that's the word even for English, but
right. Yeah, we call it a hot box.
Yeah, that's a better name.
It's a sauna.
Yeah.
It's yeah. Well, we were just checking outdoors, and they, I think temperatures were like 90, but it said it was a heat index of 102.
But that's a good thing because when the summer start, it feel like almost spring, doesn't summer, and now we have
Right.
the 4th of July arriving. That it's most of the people are telling me that it's gonna be a hot day.
4th of July always a big holiday here in St. Louis. They've got the big Fair St. Louis downtown. They have fireworks over the arch, and where we're from, Webster Groves, they have their own parade. They have their own fireworks.
Yeah, people in Webster is excited about that parade.
Yeah, well, people from all around. They come all over the place. The big thing now is people sitting down chairs to reserve a spot. Kick towards Ziggy, the goalkeeper for St. Louis. It's wide by several feet, not really a threat. He
I-
gets the
The Dim-
ball.
the Demise team actually it's having playing a good game. Perhaps they are the fight for everything. I mean, even Ozark can't fight for that spot number 5, so they are not gonna move in the table. They are just playing for respect for the team.
Right.
So it's that is been showing a little bit troubles. They are causing kind of trouble to the Bluebirds right now. They haven't have the possession of the ball too much. It has been hard for them try to make 3 4 passes to so they have to be calm, try to find the spaces. And one of the good things that the coach Garza did last game against Wichita, it just tell the players doesn't matter if we don't have the ball, just wait, be sure, be be trusting yourself because you are going to have the opportunity to score. They did, and even they beat the team.
Yeah, and they really, I think just saying that they beat them doesn't really cover the full extent of what went on in that game. It was a game that at some point they could have taken by a forfeit. And I know the coach, Ricky Garza, said, nope, we want to win this one as a win. We don't want to win this on a technicality.
That's true.
And he basically said it saying the boys deserve to win this one, outright. They stuck with it, won that one 2-1. St. Louis with the ball up on the near sideline, pass over on the inside. Nice dribble action and a little pass forward. It's coming up to the near side corner. Nice slide tackle by the Demize.
That number 18, Kurup, has been one of the best incorporation to this team. He entered late the season at the team when the Bluebirds have been already play around 2 3 games. But since he arrived to this team, he has been doing a great job as a left wing in this Bluebirds team. He has given to them so much on finding spaces.
That is Jacob Krupp. His father's one of the owners of this team here, and he was a St. Louis University player. Had to play late on that season, and got out of school and showed up here. And you're right, he has been definitely an impact player for this Bluebirds team.
Also, number 9, Welsh, the forward of this Bluebirds team. That guy has just the strength enough, the height, the weight for fight for each ball. It's a good header, has a good and strong right leg. So he's a really good striker. Is one of the best arms of this team. So when you put that number 9 with Crop, number 18, and also number 10, Brian Lopez together, those 3 can be really dangerous making the attack.
And they proved really dangerous against the Wichita team. Yeah, they definitely have given an umph. How do you like that word?
English is hard.
Well, I don't even know that that's really a word. It's a onomatopoeia, an umph. Anyway, they've given an umph to this team. They definitely showed Wichita a little something that they weren't expecting. So the ball now being dribbled down on the far sideline. And they'll pass back over in midfield. Bluebirds pass over to the near sideline. Pass back. Dribble forward. Comes up to the midfield line. Tries to pass it up. That gets knocked out of bounds. This, I think, is a Demize ball.
Yeah, the Mice are doing a really good thing. That thing is just blocking the spaces from them. They are making things so hard for Bluebirds right now. But the important fact is that the Bluebirds just have to be calm, have to the possession of the ball, and they will be finding the spaces eventually, so they don't have to be desperate.
Yeah, we are 14:41 here in the first half of play. We are 0-0. Ball goes to the far side. So dribble in and a clear from out in front of the St. Louis net, and that was going to bounce out to the bench.
Just in case that the Bluebirds beat this Demize team, they've been climbing to the spot number 2 in the Heartland Conference. But of course, we have to wait for other results from the other teams. But it's a good thing if they can steal the 3 points here, and also their last home game in this first season.
Yep.
The only way that we can have one more game in this stadium this season is that they secure the spot number 2 in the playoffs, and for that they have to win the 2 games that they have to play.
Pass out here to the center part of the field, and Demize comes in to steal that ball away, which they do. Great job, and a pass in that gets deflected out. So the Suns come out a little bit. Yeah, Demize have kind of some interesting uniforms here.
Yeah,
Gray and blue.
I don't like too much the gray on the uniform, but looks good.
Well, it helps us keep straight who the home team is and who the away team is.
Yeah, that's true.
Ball goes way downfield. A header comes back up. Pass over on the near side. They pass it out, and Ziggy's going to come out of the net. That's going to go out of bounds. They toss it over. So a little goal kick here for St. Louis. And he passes that in over the outside, and now pass back to the goalkeeper. Pass over on the near side. And dribbling upfield.
The Mice team are on the field with a formation that looks like 4-1-4-1, and that one before the midfield line with the 4 are making a 5 players line, so it's been a really hard job for the Bluebirds try to just pass that 5 line of players from the Mice. So that's a little bit, well, if they want to win this game, they have to break that long wall of 5 players that they have right now.
Will Linder wears number 15 there in the backfield. Left back. So I was trying to think of Demize with the ball. They come over out here on the near sideline. Stolen away by Krupp. As he charges up the field.
Nice
passes,
kill.
And that gets cleared by the Demize. But that was a nice little.
Yeah, it was a nice kill, but he lost the ball because he couldn't find any other player next to him for make a pass. So that's the thing that the Mice are doing really good. They are blocking that spaces, but still it's important for the Bluebirds having that possession of the ball, of the game, and they just have keep doing this, and sooner or later they are gonna have the opportunity to score. But I think if we are arriving the minute number 19 and we are kind of scoreless with not too much opportunities for a goal.
I think both these teams. I think what we're going to really see here is how well these teams, how solid these teams are with the effects of this heat, probably in the second half. And I think they're giving it their all right now. It is getting cooler.
I hope so.
Yeah, I see players out there now pulling up their shirts and trying to get some air.
Now we have a corner kick. I think this is going to be the second corner kick, if I'm not wrong, for the Mice team.
All right. So here comes the corner kick. It's on the far side. It is up, headed by St. Louis, still in the air. Couple players going for it. Ziggy can't get a hand on it.
Oh my God, that was just a question of lucky. That was close.
Ziggy's down. He might have gotten hit in the head.
He had a mistake when he tried to cock the ball, but he was lucky that the number, I think was 17, Eric Lopez did a great job defending that ball in the rebound. So what's luck for the Bluebirds that the Mice team didn't score.
All right, here comes St. Louis, dribbling the ball up the left side. That's Linder. Passes on over to Carrasco. Another pass up the far sideline, and that ball is booted back deep. The only ones back there are Linder and Ziggy.
This team is trying to play in 4-3-3, but it's been hard. Them just try to find the spaces. The Mice are defending in a really good way, but they have the skills for dribbling and just move the ball around the defenders. They just have to wait.
Another run for the ball up on the near sideline. Here we got Demize player goes down. He's kind of slowly getting up on his own. Maybe looking for a call of some sort. He does not get it. And he casually walks back out. And this will be a Demize throw in. Ball's in. Dribble, push out, and well, he gets shot off. He centers it up. Sent back. Another tap towards the goal. He hits the post, and Ziggy, boy, that was one that Ziggy couldn't quite get his hand on. Thank that post for keeping that out of the goal.
Well, again, this luck was with this team.
Yeah.
The ball hit the post in the rebound. The Bluebirds are defending good, but they are not too focused as they should be. So that's making that the Miz are finding some spots like that are making kind of dangerous shots. So they have to be more careful with that.
They got some good wind out here, but as we noted, it's like 102-degree heat index.
Yeah.
It's dropping down, I'm sure, but you know, these guys are out there doing their thing. It can't feel that good. We got a throw in for St. Louis.
That
goes back to Linder. Now he kicks it back to Ziggy Camejo. And he passes back out on the right side. Lopez dribbles up. Boots one down to the corner.
That's number 8, Carrasco.
Yeah, okay. So he passes back up at midfield, over on the far sideline.
Carrasco is like the brain of this team. All the balls almost go through him, and he is the player who organized the team. I'm not gonna say he's like the quarterback, but he is the player that the key have in the midfield for
that's exactly
sending that balls around, up or down. But
yeah.
That's an important player from this team.
That's, I think, the important player on any team, and that's exactly right. He's the quarterback. He's the brains. He controls the tempo of this game, and this guy is right there in the middle of it all.
Yeah, it's like the important connection between the defending line and the forward or attacking line.
Demize with the ball on the near side lines, over on that right backfield. Kick back up, goes to midfield. Now fighting for it. Pass back. Now towards the interior. Now over to the far sideline as Demize move up field. Bluebirds conversion, passes it out to the corner, and that will go out.
One good thing that the Demize team has been doing all game long is blocking two important players for the Bluebirds team, and that is the left line of the left part of the field with Kropp and Werner. Number 18 for Kropp, 23 for Werner. So that's making, or that's causing kind of troubles for these Bluebirds, because they have to try other ways to make the ball to get to the other side of the field.
Demize pick up the ball, pushing in on the goal. Over on the left side, still pushing. He passes it out. Here comes. He tries to center it up, and that goes right into the hands of Ziggy Camejo. He takes it, throws it upfield. Gets up almost to midfield. Pass back. Here comes St. Louis pushing in towards the near sideline. He passes over. And now another kick back up. It's blocked back. Got a whistle here.
Yeah, Kropp was telling me something to the referee if he didn't saw another play. Was kind of angry, but it was a nice try between number 9 Walsh and 18 Kropp. That's a really good couple. One good thing from this Bluebirds team is that the goal draw it's in a good position from them. They have been scored 17 goals and they have just 15 goals against.
All right. Teams are going to take a quick water break here, and we're going to do a sponsor break. We will be right back with the second part of this first half play right after this. Ay, ay, ay. Is that window open down there? What do you want? What does everybody want? You need some water? Some ice water? Karina? Are you sure? Diet Coke. It is hot. All right, let's do quickly this. All right, welcome back from water break, and they no sooner blew the whistle than they came down and buried that ball in the St. Louis net.
Well, the Bluebirds, it looks like they were just drinking water, and in the next second, they are now under 1 goal here on St. Mary's High School. The play was so fast for the Mice. They take advantage that the Bluebirds wasn't paying too much attention about that, and they scored the first goal of the game.
And I think that's the major problem is they let their guard down like that and just said, oh, well, you know, I think, well, I should say you got to give credit to the Demize who exploded on that.
Yeah, but also you have to be focused all the 90 minutes of the game. It doesn't matter if you stop just for a short break for drink water.
So, you know, do we call that dirty pool, so to speak?
And
So
no, I
is
don't
that
know.
like little league stuff when you hide the ball in your glove, or is that's just the game, man?
Yes,
Yeah, no, it's like they blow the whistle, you go and try to score a goal, right?
that's true.
Yeah, I gotta say, man, they caught them off guard, and what are you gonna do? So it's now Demize 1, St. Louis 0.
Yeah, I think Coach Garza are going to call the attention to their players in the halftime because that kind of thing can happen.
Right. You and I were busy discussing the team out on the field for the Demize.
Yeah,
Little did we know the sneak attack that was about to unfold. Demize with the ball, try to pass it up, bring out, bounce out to midfield. And you certainly don't want St. Louis to come off a win like they had against Wichita and then come here. Demize, they beat them 3-0 first time they played.
Yeah,
And this was their first win in the NPSL.
that's right. That's completely true.
29:44 is on the clock.
Some of the recap of the games for the Bluebirds actually are they lost the first game 4-2 against Wichita. Then they tie 1-1 in the first home opener against Ozark. Then they beat Demize 3-0 at their home.
Yeah.
Then they lost against Little Rangers 3-1. They beat Tulsa Athletic 4-2. Also they beat Little Rock Angels 3-2. Later Tulsa beat them 2-1. And the last game 1 week ago they beat Wichita 2-1. And now we're watching here. We're bringing to you this at the moment 1-0 the miss up. Bluebirds fighting for change the scoreboard.
30:34 on the clock here. Ball's up on the far sideline. St. Louis is guarding the north side goal, the Demize, the south side goal. So St. Louis is going from right to left on the attack. Should have mentioned that, but we didn't, or I didn't. Ball's now kicked up by St. Louis up towards the net. Big bouncer off two heads. And big shout out to Jim Krupp. He's the bearer of cold water devices. You can roll them on your face or you can swallow them. All right, ball's loose out here. Demize has a little pop-up field up along the near sideline. Will it be a breakout?
There was a nice defense by the Bluebirds. They have a solid defense. Sometimes they just are a little bit not too focused on the games and things like the goal that the Miss just score happened to them. So they just have to be more careful because they have the strength enough to stop most of the players in this league.
Here comes the Demize. Pass up center. Gets bounced out to the right. Nice little passing move.
And
right in front of the goal, and that will go out. Nobody could capitalize on that.
But the referee says that that ball was touched by the Bluebirds player, so we have a corner kick. If you see the Demize jersey in the back part,
yes,
they have like an eagle logo or something.
Huh.
In the back part.
I can't read it all that well, my friend. I don't doubt you, though. Maybe it's a vulture. Here comes a corner kick by the Demize. Up towards the middle. Hits the turf. Comes down. Still loose. St. Louis comes up, but then a kick towards the goal. Ziggy falls on that one.
Nice save by Ziggy. Was kind of hard. A lot of people in the area. But he caught that ball with any problem. So it was a good save for Ziggy.
They roll that one out to the far sideline. St. Louis with the ball, pass back.
As you see, that's the problem. It's been all the game like this. It's been hard for them. Just try to pass to the other side of the field.
And here they come.
I would like to see this team playing passes a little bit more faster. Maybe that way they could find the spots, because the Demize team are continue doing a really nice defending job.
Folks, we just want to let you know, if you're in the St. Louis area, our good pal Jeff Tedford, who has a show called Moments Notice, he's doing a special, a 2-hour Moments Notice jazz special to coincide with the fireworks display. And another DJ that we have, Davo, will also have his Forever Rock show, all brought to you 4th of July for the fireworks. Stay tuned to 92.9 FM for that stuff. I see your bird that you're talking about down there, Davo.
Yeah.
So it's on the tail end of their shirts.
You see it? Yeah.
They'll pop up. Over on the left side, it comes down. He tries to get that off, and that kick goes wide left. Nice opportunity. It was a nice pass, and it was a nice attempt. Tough one to get off, and Ziggy was there waiting for him.
Yeah, that was close. Lucky for the Bluebirds, he couldn't shoot that ball as he would like to. But at this moment of the first half, we're seeing that the Demize is having. They are not having the possession of the ball, but they are using or they are more useful when they have the ball, because they are causing or making all the dangerous plays with any have the control of the ball. So it doesn't matter sometimes if you have the possession if you don't go to the other side and make some dangerous.
It's all about making it dangerous, about keeping those goalies moving left to right, not knowing where that ball could possibly go in.
Yeah,
Just
it's
catching
true.
them off guard.
They should clean this window.
All right, ball's over in the far side corner as they try to center it up in front of the goal. Demize clears it up about 20 yards. They kick another one that ends up being a field goal.
And it's for no, I think it's going to be a ball for the Bluebirds from the sideline.
All right, 35-26 on the clock.
The fans want to watch more action from the Bluebirds here in the Crown. They are cheering their players. They know they can beat this team.
They can do it against Wichita. They can do it against the Bluebirds. As the ball comes down here on the left side, he centers it up. Knocked out by the goalkeep. It goes back out to the sideline. We've got a whistle.
Yeah, he called that a fault. I couldn't see which number was of the player. I think what's number 20 was trying to make the header for complete that play. But
This will be a kick for the goalie. Here it comes. Pops that one down. It's going to go nice 15-20 yards past the midfield line. Come down, gets knocked out, and this will be a Demize throw-in.
so this is how the Heartland Conference standings are. Wichita is in the spot number 1, Tulsa Athletic number 2, Little Rock Rangers number 3, and the Bluebirds are in the spot number 4. The Mice it's in 5 and Ozark 6, and Ozark is the last opponent that this team has to play.
They're going to have to go down there to play them.
Yeah, and if it all remains like this, they have to go and beat Wichita at their home if they want to keep doing and going in this playoff series in the NPSL League.
Yep. St. Louis definitely wants to host that first one and do it here in St. Louis, which would happen if they moved up to the number 2 position in the Heartland Conference. But they got to get a win right here today.
Yes, that's the first step that they have to do.
That's right. And you hate for them to squander that opportunity.
Ooh.
Got players tied up. We go down and a whistle right there midfield.
Well, he
Demize
entered,
player's
yeah.
still on the ground.
He entered and well, he made that play kind of hard. It was a fault, maybe not as hard as it looks. And we have the first yellow card of the game. That was for number 8 Carrasco, if I'm not wrong.
Some unhappy crowd noise out of the crowd here for that one. Ball goes down, little header towards St. Louis goal. You know, some of these other matches we've talked about how important it is for St. Louis to be on the offensive, keep that ball upfield, keep their goalie running around, and you got to feel like Demize have been playing a pretty good offensive game. They've kept this ball down on their end quite a bit.
That's right. Even I think if we count the possession of the game, we can say that the Bluebirds having almost the 70% of the possession of the ball, and the Miss actually is more dangerous team.
Free kick goes up, goes over the front line, and goes down towards the post, caught by Ziggy Cameo. He now boots it up, goes past midfield. They're fighting for it. Looks like St. Louis comes up with it. And a jog out towards the near sideline. He's looking to center it up. And a little side tackle, and he kicks that out. This will be a corner kick for St. Louis.
It was a great run for number 9, Walsh. It was a great play from him. He just ran with the ball straight to the middle of the field, and he produced a corner kick that now could be really dangerous.
Chevy Walsh, and this looks like Krupp. He'll be kicking this. Puts that up long. comes down.
Was a little bit up that
Yeah, a little
kick.
bit past that goal. So it comes down. I pass down. That ball gets kicked out. Let's make it a goal kick here for Carson Oaks.
You see, you can read my handwriting.
Barely. Did you notice that pause?
Yeah, but I
That
think it's
pause was the
because the last.
translation of your handwriting into actual readable symbols. Ball's kicked down the midfield. Say 5-4. Demize moves it up. Good passing between players for this Demize team, Davo.
Well, that was a nice play for. This is the hardest name to say. Bob Jurif, number 20 of the Bluebirds.
That's an easy name to say.
Bob Jurif.
I would say Pup Georgiev.
Bob Georgiev. That's when I was doing my forever work for the 4th of July today, I
Yeah.
learned one new word. It was hitchhiking.
You really?
Yeah, I didn't know that word.
Is that how you got here?
Kind of.
It was a big thing back
But
in the 70s.
now it's really useful to know the word. It's not just doing this with your finger.
Your thumb.
Yeah.
All right. Ball's going up on the far sideline.
That
Yes,
was
this
hard.
is Davo's hitchhiking tips. As they try to move it forward.
Yeah, for me the big problem that the Bluebirds are having right now, they're having the possession of the ball, but when they have the possession of the ball, they don't have anyone to pass that ball. So probably if they have to start making some passes in a really, it doesn't matter if it's in a short wave or if in the side of the field from them, just move the ball a little bit fast and maybe you can disconcentrate the other team.
Ball pass over on the left
Oh.
side, and they blow a whistle, and player gets hit in the face with the ball.
Yeah, he was kind of
That's the worst
angry.
thing. Yeah, he's like, I got smacked in the face with the ball.
Yeah,
and it's
but
like, sorry, dude.
the referee was calling offside actually.
Yeah.
That was the first call. But then some Demize player just receive a free hard shot.
So
Thi-
here comes the kick.
Yeah, now the Demize players are just try to
Long back.
lay the clock go as and go for closing this first half. We are arriving to the minute number 43 this first half here at St. Mary's High School. And we still have sun. Hot and warm sun.
Definitely. We're waiting for this sun to get down. Become an easier game to call. Pass back. Over back to midfield. Pass up on the far sideline at midfield as they move up the sideline. We got a whistle here.
But it was a good play. They should be doing this a little bit more longer. It's just having the possession of the ball, passing a little bit fast, finding the players next to you, and move the ball fast.
43:30 is on the clock, and we are 1-0 with the Demize in the lead here in the first half of play. You're listening to Bluebird Soccer right here on Radio 63119 Sports.
No one is going to be ready for the header.
Comes up towards the Demize net. Loose, getting out here on the near side. Try to pass up, bounces off some Demize legs.
Yeah, the Demize wall is really hard. Just try to break it up.
63119. Shout out to Damon Patterson. Doesn't normally listen to soccer, but he is today. Typed in "Go Bluebirds."
That's great. Go Bluebirds. They want to see this team. Well, now they already classified for the playoffs, so that's for sure. That if they want to see this team at home again, they have to win the last two games that they have to play, and they are losing one of that. But they still have 45 more minutes to change history. Because all the things that this team are doing, it's the first thing for everything. Because it's the first season from this team.
That's right. This will be the first playoffs they make. It's
Yeah,
the first ones they qualified for. I would say they had their biggest game up to everything this season happened last weekend, last Saturday.
that's true, and that happened the last minute of the game. So stay tuned, because this doesn't end here.
So we're getting set here for a corner kick by the Demize. So they line up. Does a short tap. Pass back. Tries to center it up. It goes long. That's going to not go out. Demize keeps it in. And they try to center it up again. Comes off the chest of Ziggy. Now up at right in front of the middle of the goal. And Bluebirds send it back up on the near side. That goes out. Should be a Demize throw in.
We are already in the addition time. We already passed the 45 break.
Yep, so we're at 46:20. We don't know how much extra time here they're going to put on the clock.
I'm going to say 2 or 3 because the water break and the goal.
Yeah. So must have given them like a 3-minute water break, I would guess.
And I will ask the Bluebirds team if they want a water break on the second half, because that was the reason that they missed score.
And a nice kick goes towards the St. Louis goal. Ziggy comes down very carefully, catches that. Nothing too dramatic about it.
It was a nice save.
Nice save. They pass that ball up on the far sideline. And again, folks, stay tuned on the 4th of July. We're going to have a lot of 4th of July music for you. You can listen to us while you watch those fireworks up in the sky.
I think there is no better play in the world for fireworks than the United States in the 4th of July.
That's right. That is right, Davo. Our reputation precedes us.
It's true.
47-27 on the clock.
You know that it's illegal to sell fireworks in Colombia?
Cue joke here.
Yeah.
I had no idea. Well, they've talked about making it illegal here. For just, regular folks to go and pick them up.
Yeah, but professionals or people too are conscious about what they're doing.
Huh. Okay. Well, you heard it here, folks. Little Colombian history. Well, how can you guys celebrate the 4th of July without fireworks?
We don't celebrate the 4th of July, but we celebrate the 20th of July. That's when the Independence Day of Colombia is.
Aye, aye, aye. That ends the first half, folks. We are 1-0. Demize are in the lead here. We will be back with our second half coming up right after these messages from our sponsors. Stay tuned. On the campus of St. Mary's Preparatory School here in South St. Louis. You know, some people think it's St. Louis, South St. Louis County. It is not, Davo. It's just the south part of the city. And like the rest of St. Louis, man, it gets hot and it gets muggy. And I even just the other day looked it up. I was like, why does it get hot and muggy out here? Why is it so crazily hot?
And the reason is why?
They said it's because we're not next to like some mountains and stuff where cool weather would blow down and clear out the weather.
Yeah.
So when the hot weather rolls up in here, it just sits.
That's the problem that Chicago doesn't have, for example, or any city that is next to the sea.
That's correct. It gets washed out. So here it is quite hot and humid. It's not fun. We have 45 minutes up on the clock here for the second half of play. The Demize are ahead 1-0. And they did that by right after the water break. They had a plan which was executed flawlessly. They broke away right away with that ball, went straight to the goal and buried it.
That's
Caught
true.
that St. Louis team sleeping.
Yeah.
And St. Louis now has got to do a payback.
That's true. They are not losing anything if they put their hands on fire and start making more dangerous plays, because they having the possession of the ball, but most of the dangerous plays of the game has been for the Mice. So
yep. If you're watching us on YouTube, you need to be thanking Karina for her camera work to bring you this game. Thank you, Karina. Right, Davo?
yeah, because his partner is in Russia supporting Colombia in the World Cup.
Okay.
Everyone in the world wants to be in Russia, except the Americans.
That's right. You know, who likes Russians? All right, man. Ball. I'm a child of the Cold War, man. All right, Demize, dribble the ball up. He tries to get that up. The Demize now are going from right to left. St. Louis left to right.
Oh,
Got
that
a little
wasn't a
trip
fault
here.
for me.
And that's going to give them a shot here on the St. Louis goal.
It looks like a dangerous fall in a dangerous spot for the Mice. Now Ziggy have to. Oh, there was a penalty shot. It was in the area. Oh man, it wasn't fault for me at the beginning, and now we have a penalty kick here, and the Mice can score and be 2-0. Have to be goals up in the game.
So here we go. Penalty kick coming. Ziggy gets that. He jumps up and down. Here we go. He kicks it and he gets it. Buries it into the right corner. That puts them up 2-0. Davo, what's happening with the Bluebirds today?
I don't know, but this goal came for a foul that was really suspicious. For me, it wasn't a really foul. The player from the Mice just fall when he feel the contact. The referee paid attention about that. He called the penalty kick and now enter, and we are 2-0 here in St. Mary's High School. And well, if you are 2-0 with almost 45 minutes beginning the second half, just put all your hands on fire and try to change this. Make a history of the first comeback from the St. Louis Bluebirds.
Yeah, this is not that first game that the St. Louis team needed coming out here. I mean, you know, they've assured themselves a playoff spot. After coming off this big win off of Wichita, and then you have to ask yourself, what's going on in the minds of these boys out there? You've got the fifth place team who only
Maybe
has 2
they
wins.
just feel comfortable that they already classified to the playoffs, but when you are classified to the playoffs, you have to still maintain that certain level, because otherwise you just arrive to the playoffs and the other team just gonna knock out you.
But there's an incentive to grab that number 2 slot. You
Yeah,
know? I mean,
that's true.
they're gonna have to go up against Wichita in Wichita as opposed to playing the first round here in St. Louis.
Yeah.
And so it's a bit mind-boggling.
And it's completely different play against Wichita that the other two teams that it could be the another team that are Tulsa Athletic and Little Rock Rangers.
We got another Demize player who's fallen to the turf.
Yeah.
And that one has to wonder if that's a component. Are there Oscar awards that needed to be handed out here?
I mean, with a game like this, at least I say, Bluebirds, let's go and tie this game. make 1 point this game and wait for the other results, and maybe anything can happen in the last game that you have to play with the last team on the table. So that's a good fact.
Ball kicked way downfield. It's going out to the near side corner. It's going to go out. St. Louis can't catch up to it.
Was too long that pass.
Yeah. And this is going to be a goal kick for Demize. Yeah, 2-0 lead here. This has now become a much tougher task for this Bluebirds team.
Now with these 2 goals against, the difference of goals for these Bluebirds are on 0. They have been scored 15 goals and they have received also 15 goals.
So given here a free kick here for the St. Louis team. Teams line up.
They're a really good team for heading the ball.
Looks like Lopez is taking this kick. Teams all line up. It's up. He boots it towards the corner. Comes down ahead, and that goes right into the hands of the goalkeeper.
But I think this was the
Oaks.
first close option in the whole game for the Bluebirds.
First option. It was well executed. But Oaks, the goalkeeper for the Demize, had his he was in the right place to be. So he caught that thing. He stopped the offensive effort by the Bluebirds. Ball's out. This will be a Demize throw-in.
But this tells you how hard and how strong is this defensive Demize team. Because if your first goal try comes in the minute 50 of the game, oh man, this team is just hard to beat. That wall that they built up in the midfield and defensive line.
Now we got another Demize player who falls down, and
yeah, now the referee is entering into a game that he's calling up all the falling players. I don't like that. I prefer more where the game just
I
go
think
and moves naturally.
it creates an incentive for players just to keep falling to see how many of these things are going to stick. I've always maintained that players should be ejected for it. There's an incentive to not do it. Free kick towards the goal, picked up by Ziggy. Cameo passes out to the near side here to Jackson. Jackson passes forward. Charge up the field. Another tap up. And can St. Louis get to this? It's Walsh, I think, who gets the ball.
Walsh is really good maintaining the ball, turning around. He is that kind of player that if you are a defender, you're going to be annoying to have to defend against him.
He's an explosive player, to say the least. Leading scorer for the
Bluebirds. I think with 5 goals.
Ball goes out of bounds.
He has a short injury that maintained him almost out for 2 games this season.
Here comes the Krupp with the corner kick. Headed up towards the goal. A beautiful kick.
But I like this try.
That was a bicycle kick, right?
Yeah, well, kind of, but a mix between that.
An almost bicycle kick.
Yeah, but I like these tries because now we are seeing that the Bluebirds can attack this Demize team. That's the important fact. So probably the first goal is just going to show up soon.
Ball is loose. Ziggy gets back in the goal, and he blocks one. That's a save.
Nice save.
Yeah,
they make the
very lucky.
Yeah, they make the counter-attack really fast just after that corner kick, and Siggy stopped that goal. He's a really nice goalkeeper. He unfortunately couldn't stop the penalty kick, but he has been doing a great job.
Penalty kicks are, I would say, more of those go in than stay out.
Yep.
Got a corner kick here for the Demize team here on the near side.
And we can say that finally the Suns just
kick is up. It's long, headed towards the goal, headed away by the Bluebirds. Comes down a lot of white there as they try to keep moving the ball forward. A pass up field. As he comes up the left sideline, and how are they going to call that?
There was a really good defense by the Mice team.
Yeah.
But even he calls for the Bluebirds. the foul when they just try to make the counter attack really fast.
Well, it's fouls against the Demize,
Yeah,
who kind of ran in and ran down. I got to give you efforts on this, man. That was a track star run.
yeah.
He ran, but he just kind of ran right over him.
But that's the typical foul that you do on soccer when you have to stop the counter attack. There is no other way to stop the player. Just make the foul.
That's right. So, looks like they're having a little discussion out there. Midfield, we got a yellow card.
And I think the yellow card goes to number 9, Walsh from the Bluebirds, because he was asking to the referee why he didn't show up the yellow card to the Demize player in that foul. And now we have the first substitution of the game, I think.
So,
Yeah.
all right, here we go.
Carrasco is leaving the game. And the player who's enter, I can see his number. Let's just wait he turns up.
Sun has finally gone down. We have the lights on here at the field. It's a orange stripe across the sky with that sun setting. And I got to tell you, Davo, it is feeling like it's a little bit... It's feeling a little bit like a little cooler out there.
Yeah, and the player who enters was number 5, Brown.
So number 5, Brown, now in for Carrasco.
Yep, Orlando Brown. He's younger than me. Now I feel old.
Really?
Yeah,
I was about to say they all are, Davo.
23 years old.
All right.
I'm
Looks like, what's going on now? They handing out another yellow card?
Yeah,
We have some hands up in the air. Nobody can believe it.
It looks like we have another substitution for the Mice team. But the players look kind of annoying with the referee.
And so we'll be getting underway very soon here with some soccer, I'm assuming, right?
Yep.
Every once in a while, you just got to take these moments, settle some old scores, right? You got to set some stuff straight. You got to look the ref in the face, take a yellow card, exchange some players. It's just how the game goes. All right, we are underway. They passed it out here the near side. Bluebirds with the ball. Tap up over to the left corner. Another pass in. Excellent save by the Demize goalie Oaks as he curls down and picks up a pretty good hit, a pretty good kicked ball straight at him. Now some good passing there.
Yeah, you described it really well. It was a good save from the Demize goalie. But again, probably this was the third or fourth try in this second half from these Bluebirds. So I have the feeling that the goal is just coming sooner or later. Hope soon. At least they can tie.
And pass back. Pass back to midfield. Now out to the side. Bluebirds with the ball. So they dribble up. Try to get through their guard. Going out to the far side corner. Demize takes over the ball. Kick downfield to a Bluebird head. Pass back now, pass over, center of the field.
But right now with 2-0, the Bluebirds are finding more spaces that they couldn't find where even they were 1-0 down, so that's a good thing.
All right, they kicked it up field.
And we missed a huge play. Corina was just telling me here on the camera that the Miss is playing right now with 10 players. The referee showed up a red card. So now that's a huge opportunity for the Bluebirds facing a team with under 1 player.
Yeah, 58-33 on the clock to make this straight. it's gonna make the whole game controversial. If the Bluebirds come back with that, it's gonna be, oh, we lost the guy to the red card.
Well, if you want to if you want to have a good soccer game, they have to be some controversial decisions. And for this game now is that, well, I'm gonna say two controversial decisions. One was that penalty kick that the referee calls up, and now the red card that he showed out for the nice player.
All right, pass over on the left side. Got a whistle.
I think that was the long break that we just have 5 minutes ago, where the players were just talking with the referee.
So I give a free kick here. Oaks takes the kick. The goalkeeper for the Demize goes up towards the far sideline, bounces down and out. So it's a St. Louis throw-in.
If you like watch some stuff on Netflix and you like soccer, and if you like my team, I told you Juventus, the team from Italy.
Yes.
They have a series on Netflix that they put on February. So if maybe one day you just want to learn something about one of the biggest European soccer teams, you can watch that.
They have a television series about Juventus.
Yeah, it's just this short documentary about
Here
six
comes
chapters.
the Bluebirds. They try to pass it, center it up, and that comes out the Demize player. It's going to result in a corner kick.
And they have also another movies from Maradona and Pelé, all these huge soccer players that have been
They
playing.
also have that new Star Wars movie now, which I was complaining about earlier. Kick is up and long. It goes out. Calling this for St. Louis. Walsh passes in. They try to bring it up. A little slide tackle by Demize. They pass back over to Walsh. Walsh coming in. Dribbles around a guy. Loses the ball. Passes up again. It's thick with Demize players.
It's so hard to find the empty space, that wall that Demize built up. But they have the talent and the skills for break it.
A kick long ball, and that goes just wide, right of the goal. 61:06 is on our clock. Plenty of time to score a goal, Davo. Plenty of time to score 2 goals.
Well, today morning in the France-Argentina game, the World Cup, France just scored 3 goals in 11 games. That was the period when they changed the whole game in the first knockout game in the World Cup. So there is always time in soccer.
Goes back out. St. Louis with the ball. Back on their end. They pass out to the far sideline as the Bluebirds come up. Another pass up. As they move out, that rolls out. Should be a Demize throw in. I'll also tell you that come Wednesday morning from 10 to noon, I believe is our time, we are doing a live parade show at the Webster Groves parade. Stay tuned to that. Got plenty of great 4th of July programming, Davo.
It's going to be around 99, 98 cars doing the parade.
Because that's how we roll. Here comes St. Louis coming up the middle. Will he get it off? He's out. Tries to center it back up again, and that gets picked up by Oaks.
Well, he drills the ball really good. He entered in the middle of the area. When he tried to make the shot, he has like 2-3 defenders in front of him. He tried it. He gets the rebound, but unfortunately he missed. But it was a nice opportunity again for the Bluebirds that have been showing talent, because perhaps the penalty kick that was just for this Demize team in this second half. All this second half has been belonged to this Bluebirds team. So it's just sad watching them being down 2-0.
We are 63-10 here on the clock. Demize are up 2-0. And I guess the big turn here in the second half has been, in addition to that goal, is that the Demize got the red card. So they are playing one man down.
So when you are playing one man down, you are 2-0 up. You just move all your players to defend, and that's create kind of chaos to the Bluebirds because even they have to break now that wall of 10 players.
Well, good news for your team is you get to play your defense up at the midfield line and keep the other guys up on the offense, right?
Yeah, but they have to be careful. Maybe a quick counter attack by the Miss team. So you have to be paying attention on the game, be focused.
All right. Ball goes down. Pass back to the midfield. Pass up. Here come the Bluebirds dribbling up. Moving left, moving right. Demize come up with the ball. Speaking of breakaways. Knocked away by St. Louis.
Yeah.
Pass over on the right side, and they're going to lose that.
Oh,
and
the pass was a little bit behind him.
Yeah.
A little remind for the games from tomorrow for the World Cup: Spain against Russia, 9 a.m. and at 1 p.m. We have Croatia against Denmark. On Monday we have Brazil against Mexico, and then Belgium against Japan. So if you want to watch Japan, they have to face Belgium.
All right. In the
Monday.
order that you mentioned these, I'm rooting against Russia. Forgot who you said is playing them.
Spain.
Spain. So you got to go for Spain. I want Denmark to win. Here comes a pass. Oh, and just a tapper.
There was a field goal. It was not a soccer goal.
Yeah, but it came in and he caught it with his leg held back, and he tried to just tap it up over and under the bar, but it went over the goal.
But it was a great run for him, and that's the kind of place that this team knows how to do it. That long passes make your forward run, and he even have to control the ball. He just shoots straight that ball, and unfortunately that ball was a little bit high, and it was a field goal. As I told you, not a soccer goal.
Demize with the goal kick then downfield, and the try to bring back up. Goes out of bounds. This will be a St. Louis throw in on the far sideline.
As soon the Bluebirds can score the first goal, they are going to be more calm to try this game. If they arrive to the minute number, let's say 80, still 2-0 down, the pressure is gonna start feeling. So it will be really good if they score these minutes right now.
All right, so as I was telling you, Denmark should win, and Mexico.
Mexico. And if I told you the Tuesday games, the last two knockout games for the 16th round is in the morning. Oh man, I forgot. I know Colombia has to beat England if they want to go through. But I'm missing one game.
Here comes the Demize. They pass it up over on the left side. Will St. Louis get back in time? A pass over on the right side. Ziggy comes out.
Offside.
Offsides. Kicks the ball downfield. So we have a player down. It's number 16 for the Demize. Christian
Geika. Or Jika.
You gotta enjoy it when somebody can't read his own handwriting, folks.
Oh,
right?
I can't read that.
You can? Who is that?
Yeah, maybe my pronunciation is not the good.
Who's that guy?
Christian Jika. Gecaj.
Okay. All right, they're gonna look at this player, and while they do that, I think we're gonna
the water break.
Well, they're gonna do the water break and watch the injured player on the field here. And we will be right back with some more soccer from here at Cresco Miller Field right after this. welcome back to Cresco Miller Field, where we get underway after a water break. And an injured player. St. Louis with the ball. Demize has received a red card here in the second half. They are up 2-0, but they are down one player. Gives the St. Louis team a little hope. We'll pass over to the near side corner and attempt to center it up. Bounces off the Demize player. This will give St. Louis a corner kick.
Let's see how it goes.
Let's do.
In the first half, after the water break, it was when the Mice team scored the first goal of the game.
They had a plan, they executed it, and it was beautiful if you're a Demize fan.
And the second goal just came with a bad decision from the referee.
Center up goes a corner, a little long. Now going out to the far sideline. That goes out. This looks like it'll be a Demize ball. They get ready for the throw in. Comes the throw. It's off ahead. Comes down, moving up towards midfield. St. Louis trying to get this ball back. We are 71:36 on the clock, folks.
Now it's going to be Bluebirds' ball.
So here comes the Bluebird throw in. Pass out to the center of the field. Pass up to the midfield line. St. Louis with the ball. They tap it down. It bounces off a Demize foot. That's going to go out. This will be a St. Louis throw in. They're on the near sideline. Little toss back. Picked up by St. Louis, and he almost loses it. Passes back. Keeps control. They center it up. Demize kicks it back. St. Louis has to run back a bit for it. Now they pass up field. They move it in, pushing towards the goal. Demize kicks it out. This will be a Bluebirds throw in over on the far side.
These Bluebirds at this time of the game, they deserve more. They have been playing really good this second half, creating the correct chances, but they just can't make that last step or make the goal.
I don't know, man. You know, I think about this game. I think about the Demize and how they really capitalized on the comeback from that water break. They did that. And right now they're playing one man down, trying to hold on to a two-goal lead.
That's the important thing here in soccer. You have to capitalize that opportunity that you have.
I will preface it by saying that we're not altogether convinced that that player was really went down or injured that went down, you know, on that second goal. So, you know, but when it gets down to it, you got to play the game. And right now, Bluebirds are playing a game in which they're 2 goals down. So until somebody decides to get that ball into the net,
we're gonna suffer.
Yeah. Then you get what you earn. They kick the ball back to Ziggy Cameo. He passes up back on the near side here. That goes over to Hernandez. Hernandez pops it over to the opposite side. Comes down. St. Louis on the offensive. Demize takes it to the far sideline. Tries to center it up towards the middle. Goes back to the far sideline. Picked up by St. Louis. They pass it out over to the near side. And St. Louis still dribbling, trying to penetrate. They pass it on up to Chevy Walsh. He kicks. The goalie came right out on him. And
hard call by the referee. Shows up the flag, and it's an offside. Pretty close, that play.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Here comes the goal kick. Low. Goes about, I want to say 50 yards. And St. Louis gets it, passes it back. Center back, now the right back. He passes up the field. Pass back over the center, now over to the left side, far side post. St. Louis trying to control the ball. 2 Demize players surround him. It kicks it out to the side. St. Louis still controlling.
You as a Bluebird player, you just turn around and you have 2 or 3 players of the Mice team just behind you. Just you turn to the other side, you have another 2 or 3 players next to you. That makes the game really hard for them.
Those are the Demize players doing their job.
That's true, and they are making the job for the Bluebirds a little bit more harder.
As is their job. Demize lose the ball. Bluebirds will throw this one in, which they do. It's over here on the near sideline, near the midfield line.
It doesn't feel at this moment that the Bluebirds has one more player in the field.
It goes back. St. Louis taps it up to the center. Passes forward. Demize doing a great job of surrounding these players. As soon as they get up there, there's like 3 guys on them. They try to center it up. It gets kicked out by the Demize. This will be another St. Louis throw-in.
They try to get in closing to the net, moving the ball from side to side and maybe try to make a center. But it's been really hard all day long for Bluebirds with this strong defense from the Demize team. And they just have 14 minutes if they want to at least score 1 goal or tie even the game.
76:30 is on the clock. I imagine we're going to get some extra time thrown on here due to
with the penalty, the red card, the water break. Probably we're going to have 5 minutes of extra time.
Yeah. Probably. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe like 6 minutes.
Yeah, well, last week was like almost 15 minutes. So with these referees here in the NPSL League, we don't know.
Here comes throw-in from St. Louis near sideline. Tosses it back to center back, now left back. Passes up.
A little recap of the Heartland Conference table right now with this loss of the Bluebirds. It's Wichita first, Tulsa second, number 3 Little Rocks, and the Bluebirds still in the spot number 4.
Try to put one in there. The Oaks ends up with this ball. Nice drop kick. That goes deep. Goes out. So got some distance, and it was high, but it was out of bounds. So this is going to turn this ball over to the Bluebirds as they continue on their quest to try to get their first goal of the game. Certainly don't want a 2-0 shutout, especially playing a half with almost an entire half with an extra player.
That's true. Here in this play, the referee calls another offside.
So here comes the throw in by the Demize. Goes up. St. Louis with the ball. Pass over again.
Really, if you start thinking about in any other chances in this second half, perhaps the penalty, there is no one. There is no other try. It was just the penalty kick in the first minute of the second half. That's how call by the referee can change a whole game.
I don't know. I'm watching this Bluebirds team, and I'm just thinking they came out not with that fire to put this team away.
Yeah, they're not as on fire as they used to be. Or maybe they're just keeping their energies for try to beat Ozark, but that doesn't gonna be enough probably if they want to climbing in the Heartland Conference.
All very true. We have a St. Louis throw in here. Toss comes in. Push towards the goal. He's surrounded. Passes back, and the pass is missed. Goes all the way back. Has to kick it back to that center back who's about 5 yards in front of the midfield line. Pass out to the left side to the corner.
I love that long passes from this Bluebirds team.
All right, here comes the centering pass. It's up high, and it will go out, and this will be a goal kick for the Demize.
Well, that was too long.
Yeah, long and high and, everything in between. They really, for whatever it is, both teams have not been doing a very good job of crossing that in front of the goal. So they've been high and long almost every time.
That's right.
That includes the corner kicks. And I don't know if that's because they're misjudging the wind. I feel a wind now, but it's not a strong wind.
Yeah,
and I don't think it's the kind of wind that affects the ball. And I think they might. I don't know if they're misjudging that or not. Maybe they're they're just hot, and they're like, I'm going to kick this ball. Starts again. Here comes St. Louis. He comes in and a nice slide tackle by the goalkeeper.
He takes too much time for shoot that ball, and well, it was a good save for the goalie from Demize.
It was a nice pass to Jackson. Jackson moved in, and as you said, man, he let the goalie come in on him. He didn't get that kickoff.
He tried to dribble the ball, but it was a good job of Oakes. And again, a nice try by the Bluebirds to at least put that game under 1 goal.
So we've got 10 minutes left in regular time, and then whatever the add-on is for it. St. Louis again with the ball. He passed over on the right side.
So it's almost do or die.
Here comes another one. He shoots, and that one's knocked away. Beautiful save by Oakes. Oakes has been earning his keep today.
Yeah, he has been doing a great job this second half. When the time he has to show up, he shows up, and that's make things a little bit harder for the Bluebirds. Now you don't have to just pass the wall of the defensive line, also the goalkeeper.
Long legs, long arms on that guy. You can tell it from up here.
And good reactions.
Good reactions, yeah. So we got a goal kick here for Oakes. Demize, I think they're from Springfield, Missouri.
You know, one time I read, I don't know if that was sure, when you read something on internet, you don't know if it's true or not, but Springfield is the name that has more towns around the United States. And that's why the Simpsons, the creator, Mike Groening, called Springfield. Because otherwise people even don't know where the Simpsons are.
Which Springfield it is?
Yeah. From all the Springfields
so what you're saying,
the
Springfield is the most
Common,
It's the commonest name
for
the
towns.
most common name for towns in the United States.
Yep.
You know what the most used mascot is? Here it comes and pushing on a goal, and I think they buried that one.
Yep.
3-0. Ziggy came out to try to stop it. He got past him, and the defensive player came in and he tried to be the last stop to stop that goal. He couldn't do it.
Well, it was a good reaction from number 12 from the Miss. But they just been doing this. Look, 3 opportunities in all the whole game, and they capitalized these opportunities, and now they're 3-0.
It's a shorthanded goal, 3-0, 83 minutes left here on the clock, and
just because the Bluebirds didn't capitalize their opportunities.
I would pretty much say that finishes the night here for the Bluebirds.
I think now they just want to end this game, talk about it. Probably the coach Garza wants to talk with the players, because this is not the soccer that we are used to see about for the Bluebirds. They can show a nice and even a beautiful way to play football as a team. I know what happened today.
I don't know either. Maybe everybody's thinking about that 4th of July barbecue. Maybe everybody's thinking about that 4th of July heat. But it doesn't seem like they're really thinking about their soccer tonight in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Demize are going to go home with a much desired victory. It's going to give them 3 wins on the season, and they get to say they came back to St. Louis.
With this win, they're going to end with 9 points. So they're going to maintain their spot number 5 in the Heartland Conference. And
but they know they got to deny St. Louis. They got to do 2 things. They got to split a pair with St. Louis. They got to give them a loss in St. Louis, and they got to deny them any sort of advanced placing in the playoffs.
And
so
you know what the Mice did? They just take revenge from the 3-0 that the St. Louis team scored at home to them.
That's right. They said we can score 3 goals against you too, and one of them was shorthanded.
Yeah, that's true. But
shorthanded goal.
The last goal that they scored, the tier 1, was just a good counter-attack from the Mice team. And, well, it was the goal that practically sentenced the game. Now we just have watching this for fun.
If you consider, well, another centering shot up in front of the goal, a roll, and that's no good. It goes wide.
Do you think the Bluebirds are going to score today?
I do not.
Sadly, Me too.
They're not playing like they're gonna score a goal. Whatever it is that the Demise has chosen to do tonight, that that plan has worked. They've been able to close lanes and keep players surrounded when they're on the offensive effort.
And let's remember that this Demise team is playing with 10 players, and it doesn't look like.
That's right. I mean, they've got the shorthanded goal. Just a lot of gumption with the Demise team tonight. Again, there's a ball. It gets passed up off the legs of the Demise defense. Gets passed back. And now back center to the midfield line. Another pass up over on the left side.
Now we have to wait the other results in the Heartland Conference and see if they can climb any spot if they beat Ozark.
Pass over on the right side. And we have a whistle here.
And I think the coach Garza wants a win in Ozark. It doesn't matter if it's the last team on the table.
Well, look, man, there's all sorts of reasons why they should have won this game tonight.
Yeah.
You don't come off a win like you had against Wichita a week ago
and
come here and give up 3 uncontested goals to the Demise, a team that's only got 2 wins on the season. That doesn't make any sense. Got a penalty kick here. I'll say this, the Demise players are awfully friendly and nice out there with the St. Louis team. Goes up over the wall, comes out, and that is caught by Oaks. I mean, you got to give a lot of credit to the Demise team who came out here, played a game, and did it.
They capitalized their options. They didn't was kidding around.
Yeah, I just don't feel like St. Louis came out here
really focused on the game.
Yeah, right. Whatever it was, this game plan did not work out, and it didn't work out playing with 1 extra man. So there you go. What are you gonna say? Other than it's 87-17 on the clock in regular time here. Ball's up.
And I just remember all people that are listening to us. If they want to support the best nation in the world, it's going to play on Tuesday at 1 p.m. Colombia against England.
That's right. Oh, I also forgot to mention I do want Japan to beat Belgium.
Yeah, they're going to play on Monday at 1 p.m.
There you go. So I think I covered all the games you threw out to me, right? Kick comes and bounces off the upright.
You didn't tell me if you won England or Colombia.
I can't tell you on that one, man.
Are you sure?
I totally want Colombia to win that one.
Thank you. I'm with you.
The Welshness in my blood has to be anti-England, I guess.
Yeah.
How you like that? How you like them apples? They're not even considered a part of one of the kingdoms united in the United Kingdom.
Really?
Really?
I love fish and chips, but that's not enough. Sorry, England.
The fish and chips. Yeah, fried fish and French fries.
Yeah, what invent?
Yeah. I have to tell you, one of the most insulting words to the French is calling French fries,
Yeah.
Nothing says really awful American food like calling it French.
Yeah, that's funny.
All right, 88:55's on the clock. Here comes St. Louis. Pass over the right corner. Kept in play. Demise. Double team up in front of him. Glancing shot up front. It's a little dangerous.
I would like to see the Bluebirds just scoring just 1 goal, because right now they're under 1 goal in the difference goal. So they have been scoring 15 goals. They have received 16 goals in all season long. In 9 games, because let's remember to the people that are listening to us or watching us on YouTube that this NPSL league has 10 regular season games, and then they just go to a semi-final conference, and that takes a final conference, and then just start playing the divisional playoff series.
Demise kicked that ball far downfield. St. Louis gets to it. Passes up. Demise still going on the attack. They pass back. 89-57. They pass it up on the right side, going out to the near side corner. A passer and no attempted at a head. He missed a head.
That was a clearly option for the Bluebirds, but also shows up what was the game for this team today.
Yeah, we're over the 90th minute.
It was like a almost opportunity again, sadly.
Yeah, yeah, it was a good effort. Just whatever.
But
Timing was slightly off. Didn't
maybe
work.
this lose helped to the coach guards at tell players, what are you doing? And they just make a good reaction in 8 days, try to play against Ozark, and probably they arrive in a nice mood for the playoffs. Sometimes you have to lose for uh, recapitalize all your game when you do a huge win like beat Wichita.
Demize had the ball. They tap one long and wide left. No good.
It was close.
91 minutes left in this game, and let's guess that there's maybe 5 more minutes to go.
I'm gonna say probably three. The referee knows that there are 3-0.
So we're going to 93 minutes. What you're saying?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna say. I mean,
I'm saying 96.
there is no much sense adding 5 more minutes when you have 3-0. If the game was really close, of course. But with this, I mean, just the players want to end the game.
Right.
But that's a huge congratulations for the Mice team because they show up here in St. Louis wanting a win and they take it in a really good way.
Yeah.
They did a really annoying job for the Bluebirds because they did a good defending job all 90 minutes long.
And nice little, can't call that a slide tackle, but that player slid down in front of the grass, and I think was that Krupp who ran into him?
Yep.
Maybe not. Maybe Lopez.
So sadly, that was how the Bluebirds ends their last home game in their first season. 3-0 down by Demize.
Pass over to the near sideline as they pass up and pass back. With ball now is Hernandez. He pops that one up towards the goal, and that goes straight into the arms of Oaks. 92-46. We'll now test whether or not Davo predicts how much time we have left in this game versus Sean.
I'm excited.
Are you excited about it?
Yeah.
All right. Let's
Coming
find
off
out.
nervous.
Let's find out, buddy. Ball passed up. Demize sticking to their assignments really well. They bolt one off. That's wide left. So right now, St. Louis just looks to be just kicking whatever they can at the goal.
Yeah.
Saying 93-18 on the clock. Are they calling it, Davo?
No, they called the doctor because there is one Demize player on the field.
All right.
Yeah, he's down. The doctor of the team enter. She's asking why he's hurting, but well, with at this minute, with all these Demize, good job, what they run today. Of course, they are tired. Also, with this heat, with this weather, it's hard to play. So if I will be the referee, I just ends the game. There is no much sense playing.
Well, I agree with that. I just don't know if you can technically do that.
Yeah,
you got to play the time in the game, and if they're keeping time down there
Yeah,
for the
but
amount of time stuff happens, then
when you arrive the minute number 90, the referee can end the game when he wants. Even if he adds 5 minutes and he ends at the minute number 3, he can do that. Of course, everybody could ask him why he stopped with his 8-5, but he can do that.
All right. So we got a goal kick now. That goes deep. Headed by St. Louis, goes up the far sideline, up at midfield. Another tapper up front, headed back. We're at 94-35. Can tell you this, Davo, time for our broadcast is an hour 52 minutes, 50 seconds.
And I can tell you that World Cup games for tomorrow are Spain against Russia.
Go España.
Yeah, that's right. And later Croatia against Denmark.
Go Denmark.
There is a reason why you're supporting Denmark?
Yeah.
Which one?
The Viking side of my family.
Ah, okay. Nice.
The Danish side of my family.
Mm, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I got to support my peeps.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I'm cheering Colombia.
That's right. See, it all makes sense to us one way or another.
Yep. And
And I'm rooting Colombia just for you, my man.
thank you. Will be don't disappoint you. You're gonna see.
95:38's on the clock.
Yeah, I don't know why we're still playing.
I know why we're still playing for the reason I told you. Guess who's going to be right?
He's not the referee, that's for sure.
I made a guess. I took a little tap over, kick back to Ziggy Cameo.
With a lot of controversial calls today.
And I think that's it.
Yeah, he ends the game in the middle, number 96.
It's 96 minutes, Davo, and that is it. I told you so.
Yeah, you won that. It was well. It's sad to see how everything can change in a week. I just hope that the coach Garza has a really good speech for tell to their players, and they at least try to take a huge win in Ozark in 1 week and fight for climbing some spots in the Heartland Conference. Right now, their Bluebirds are in the spot number 4, and they have to face Wichita. But we don't know that for sure yet. We have to wait the other teams to play, and there is one play more to play. And also, that's going to be the last game for this first season for the Bluebirds.
Yeah, for the home games. Hey, we want to remind you that you are listening to KWRHLP 92.9 FM, your community radio station in Webster Groves, Missouri. You know, Davo, we could have seen something better from our boys, I think. But let's move forward. Let's enjoy the holiday. We will be bringing you, I believe, the playoffs here for the Heartland Conference, and you just check our website for that. It's radio63119.org/sports. We might even bring you next week's game. We'll see about that. So stay tuned to our page. We will do that. We do want you to know that this broadcast is done by volunteers at KWRHLP 92.9 FM, radio63119.org. We are owned by the Webster Rock Hill Ministries in Webster Groves, Missouri. Requests to use this broadcast are welcomed and encouraged. Simply submit a formal request to sports at radio63119.org. You can expect a quick response. Copyright is 2018. Davo, any final thoughts here?
Well, just that the Mice team, they did an amazing job. They defend a really good way. They capitalize, and they just make things a little bit or a lot harder for this Bluebirds team. That the talent didn't show up today, but they have their talent. That we know that for sure. They show up in other games. We still have one more game.